everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. My name is April, if we haven't met yet. Let's go ahead and begin in a reclined Shavasana. And if you'd like some support, you can roll up a blanket and place it underneath your knees if you have a blanket. Otherwise, just let yourself relax onto the mat and just really let go into the support of the earth underneath you. And as you arrive here, just take an exhalation, emptying the body of breath to the very bottom. And then a nice deep breath in through your nose, filling all the way up. And then a big open mouth, releasing breath, exhale. Good. And again, just like that, inhale. And exhale. Let's do that once more. Inhale, full body breath in, filling all the way up to the very top. And then exhale all the way down to the soles of your feet. Good. And then just start to breathe in and out through your nose. Starting to deepen and lengthen your breath. And starting to breathe in a more intentional way. Bringing awareness to your breath, and maybe even invite in Ujjayi Pranayama. This is a gentle constriction into the sides and the back of your throat. So you can start to hear your breath. You can also start to maybe feel the textures of the breath as it moves through the throat. And then see if you can balance the breath on both sides, the inhale to the exhale. So a deeper breath than usual, so maybe 4 counts or even 5 or 6 if that feels comfortable. And whatever length that you choose for the inhale breath, match that with the exhalation. Let your awareness, as you settle into this breath, just start to move through the body. And start with the toes. And gradually just start to move your awareness all the way up to the crown of your head, but move slowly and take your time. Checking in with each little corner, each crevice of the body as you move your awareness through. And just notice what you've shown up with today, what you have to work with. Not good or bad, nothing to judge, just information. So in my class, in the past few weeks, we've been working with what's called the koshas. And this is a yoga teaching, a yoga philosophy that basically says that we are, as beings, made up of 5 layers. And these layers, sort of like layers of an onion, encase our soul, our highest self. And so we've explored the 4 outer layers, and we've come to the most subtle layer, the Anandamaya kosha. But first, just to fill you in if you haven't been here, the outer layer, the physical layer is called Annamaya kosha. This is the physical body, the layer that we work with most in our yoga practice. The second layer is the Pranamaya kosha. This is our energy body. So that's the breath, the subtle body, the pranayama. And then the third layer is the Manomaya kosha. This is the mind body. This is what we work with in our meditation. Also has our intellect, our thoughts. And the fourth layer is the Vijnanamaya kosha. This is our wisdom body. So they become more and more subtle as we get closer to the center. The wisdom body holds our intuition, our discernment, our higher mind. And now the Anandamaya kosha, this is the bliss body. This is that pure state of happiness, joy, bliss. And it's our connection to the true self, because it's the layer that is closest to the true self. The soul, or the Atman as it's called in Sanskrit. And it's not just a passing happy feeling. It's more of a deep and steady state of inner peace, unity, and contentment. And we access this most easily in deep sleep and profound meditation. And it's not necessarily something that we can just invoke in our yoga practice, but all of these layers kind of come into play, and the more that we balance all the other layers, the more access we have to this layer. And this is really what shines through when we are balanced, when we're really taking care of ourselves on all levels, our physical body, our mind, our emotions, our breath. And so this is what we work towards in our practice, balancing these layers of our being so that we can shine through and show up as our best self. And so I'll bring attention to all of the koshas today, all of the layers of our being as we work in our yoga practice. And you might just experience little blips, little moments of that state of pure connection, pure peace, pure love, and joy. But for now, just take a few more rounds of breath here in your Shavasana. And then as you feel ready, start to gather your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Rock side to side if that feels good, or circle out your knees a couple times in either direction. And then you can extend your legs out long, and we're just going to roll over onto our bellies so that you are just facing down. Just flip over like a pancake. And then we're going to come into a shoulder stretch here. So extend your arms out into a T shape. And then let's bring the right cheek to the mat. Keep your right arm extended. And then start to bend your left elbow, bringing the palm of your hand onto the floor. And then press into the left palm as you roll over onto the right side of your body. So this is going to stretch the right shoulder. Yeah, you've all got it. And this is going to be intense. We'll hold this for a minute or two to really allow the body to relax and start to access the fascia. So actually more like 2 minutes, because it usually takes about a minute and a half to start to get into the fascia, the connective tissues. So if it is too much, you can just start to walk your right fingertips down towards your right hip so that your arm's at more of like a 45-degree angle. That will be less intense. Or if you want more intensity, you can bring your right arm into like a cactus shape. And then you can play with where you'd like to place your legs. Your legs can just stack on top of one another. You can also bend your left knee, placing the sole of the foot to the floor in front or in back of the right leg. Yeah, just see what feels right here. And the goal here is to just relax into gravity. Allow gravity to do the work for you. So if you feel yourself really efforting or resisting in any way, that's a cue that your body is asking to back off just a little. So take one of those variations, if so. And then just re-access your breath. And send your breath into sensation. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. And as you feel ready, gently start to roll back onto your belly. Yeah, and then bring your hands out in front of you, stack them on top of one another, and then bring your head on top of your hands. And then bend your knees and let your feet gently sway side to side. Yeah, just a little release for the low back. And then really breathe deeply here. So in between the poses, when we do these deep postures, that's when all of the nourishment, all of the benefit flushes through the tissues, muscles, bones, organs. And then you can release your feet back down as you feel ready, and we'll take it to the other side. So extend your arms back out to that T shape. Bring your left cheek to the mat this time. Bend your right elbow, and then gently start to roll onto your left side. And then the side is probably going to be different, especially if you have any injury in your shoulders. And so meet your body where it is today. Take a softer or a deeper variation as it feels fit for you. And so this is where we tap into the fourth layer, the Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is the wisdom body, the intuition. And the wisdom body works directly with the physical body, Annamaya Kosha, in this posture because the physical body is sending signals through the brain, right? And it's giving us sensation, sort of like feedback, right? And that feedback lets us know if we're safe or not, if we're comfortable or not, if we're in pain or not. We use that information with the Manomaya Kosha, the mind body, to process it in tandem with the wisdom, the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And all of these layers all working together. Of course, the breath is there too, right? So let the breath really support you. If it feels intense, use the breath to calm the body, to calm the mind, to relax tension and create spaciousness. And when you can truly let go and just relax, then maybe you find just that little fleeting moment of bliss, joy, just that really good feeling. We kind of connect and tap into our true self, our true nature. Just another round of breath or two here. When you feel complete and balanced, go ahead and start to roll back onto your belly. And then we'll take that same repose. Yeah, you can just rest your head on top of your hands and then bend your knees and sway the feet side to side. And enjoy a couple of deep rounds of breath. And then release your feet back down. And then you can place your hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself up to tabletop and spin yourself around so you're facing forward. If you'd like, you can take a blanket underneath your knees. We're going to come into one more deep stretch. This one's called Anapatasana, melting heart pose. So stacking your hips over your knees, start to walk your hands forward. Keep your hips stacking over your knees as best as you can. And then you can rest your forehead to the earth if that's available. You can also rest your chin to the earth if that's available. That's going to be the deepest variation. You can also bring a block underneath your forehead for less. Yeah, and then just kind of allow the weight to move up and back into your hips, almost like you're in a downward facing dog. So you feel some lengthening in the side bodies, some stretch in the shoulders. And just as the name of the pose suggests, then the heart is melting down towards the earth. Soften where you can soften while still maintaining the integrity of the pose. Take one more deep round of breath here. And then gently on an inhalation, start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And then just pause here in tabletop position. Deep breath in. And a releasing breath out. Take a couple rounds of cat-cow at your own pace or any other movement that your body needs. You can sway the hips, roll out the shoulders, the head, the neck, the jaw. And then come back to tabletop position. And then we're just going to step our feet forward so we end up at a forward fold at the top of our mat. Feet can be a little bit wider than hip width distance. Bend your knees a lot and relax your head down towards the earth. Belly can rest right on top of the thighs. Just let the head dangle, and if it feels good, grab for the elbows, ragdoll pose, and you can sway side to side, or you can stay in stillness. Just relax the effort, relax the tension, just as we've been doing in all the poses so far. And then if you've got a hold of your elbows, go ahead and release your fingertips down towards the earth. And with an inhalation, come to a halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, hands can come to the shins for leverage. Roll your shoulders back, heart forward. And then bow forward, exhale, Uttanasana. Root down into the four corners of both feet and inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Tadasana, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, draw palms together in front of your heart. Samastitihi. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Just come inward. Notice how all of these layers are starting to work together. The body, the breath, the mind, the intuition, wisdom, and even the bliss. And then with an inhalation, blink your eyes open, reach your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, release your right hand down by your side and lift your left arm up and over for a side bend. Press down into the sole of your left foot, reach through the left fingertips. Inhale back through to center. Exhale, release the left hand down, right arm reaches. Press down into the sole of the right foot this time as you reach through the right fingertips. Inhale back to center, both arms high. Soften your knees, cactus your elbows, and take a little baby back bend. So really squeeze the shoulder blades together and up to lift the back of your heart. Inhale, reach up tall. And as you exhale, arms wide, bow forward, long through your spine, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, touch down. Inhale, root down, rise up, all the way to stand, arms high, gaze lifts. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart. Samastitihi. Good, again like that with breath. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, release the right hand down, left arm reaches. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, soften the knees, cactus the elbows, lean back, baby back bend. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Once more like that, inhale, rise all the way up, lift your gaze with you. Exhale, gather it in, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, side bend left. Inhale, rise to center. Exhale, baby back bend, lean back. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward, release your hands and step all the way back up to a plank pose. A few rounds of back breath in plank pose. You can always come to your knees if you need. Tap into your breath. Use your breath, that second layer, second kosha, to support the physical body, first layer. As the intensity arises, the brain sends the signal to the body, right? And you start to feel sensation. The breath is the midpoint in between the body and the mind, right? So use that as a calming force. Reach your heels back, the crown of your head forward. Take another inhalation and rock forward onto your tiptoes. And as you exhale, we'll lower to the knees first. Hug your elbows in and lower to your chest and chin. And then slide forward onto your belly, toss the feet down to the earth. Inhale for a baby cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Press down into the tops of the feet. And then exhale, tap down, forehead to earth. Let's take that twice more with the breath. Inhale to lift up, pelvis down into the earth. And then exhale, release. Once more, inhale to rise up, shoulders back, elbows in. Exhale, lower, forehead to earth. Curl your toes under, firm up your belly and your thighs. Inhale, rise up through plank or table. Exhale, lift your hips up high to downward facing dog pose. So first time here today, you can pedal out your feet if that feels good. Take any movements that you need to settle in. I may offer some hands-on adjustments throughout practice today. If you prefer to keep your practice internal and not be touched, please lift one of your legs so I can see it. Thank you, my friends. Come into stillness if you're not already there. Bring a little bend into your knees, and using that extra space, press the earth down in a way energetically to find more length in your side bodies and a little more lift in your hips. See if you can keep that, and then root your heels down towards the earth. They don't have to touch, they're just moving in that direction. Good, and then with an inhalation, extend your right leg up and back behind you. Peek your toes point down, so hips stay level. Then as you exhale, bring your knee to your nose, rounding through the spine. Press the earth away as you hug the knee in tight. Take another breath in, keep the knee there. And then as you exhale, step forward and through to low lunge. Good. Now we're gonna roll the back foot down, setting up for warrior two. And then when you're ready, inhale, rise open, Virabhadrasana, warrior two. Good, yeah, nice wide stance in between the legs. Bend deeply into the right knee and guide it open towards the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Let your shoulders soften away from your ears. Let the arms be strong as you extend through the fingertips. And notice your breathing. Breathe with intention in and out through the nose. And then with an inhalation, we're going to reach forward and then come into side angle pose. So right forearm to thigh, left arm can reach up and over bicep by the ear. Yeah. So we'll tuck the right sitting bone underneath as you feel the left side of your heart open. So there's a little spiral of the torso. Beautiful. Take another breath here. Inhale. And exhale. With your next inhalation, rise up to star pose, reach your arms high, toes out, heels in, and then we'll come into horse. So bend your knees, yeah, and then hands can come to heart center. Take a couple little bounces here as we settle in. And then eventually come into stillness, and we'll track the knees open towards the pinky toes, just like we did in warrior two. Pull your shoulders back and we press the palms together. As you inhale, rise up, come back to star, and then exhale, we'll sink back into horse pose. Again, like that, inhale to rise up. Once more, exhale back into horse. Inhale, rise back up to star. And now this time, set up your feet for triangle to the back. So we're going to point the left toes to the back. Right foot will be close to parallel to the front of your mat, maybe a little bit of an angle forward. Already there, so go for it. Reaching forward with the left hand and then hinge the body. Left arm releases, right arm reaches high. And the goal here is to find length in both side bodies, right? So just as much length on the left side as the right. And then the same thing here, tuck your left sitting bone under, feel the right side of your right hip over, right shoulder open, right side of the chest open. Beautiful. Your next inhalation, reach your left arm up and back, so we're going to reverse triangle pose. Yep, and then keep pressing down into the sole and the ball of the left foot. Reach through the left fingertips. And then as you exhale, bend into your left knee. Release your hands down to the earth. So low lunge to the back of the room. And then step back into plank pose. Take a breath in here. Stay. Exhale. Inhale, glide forward onto the tiptoes, and exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. See if you can come down in one solid piece. Lift the tops of your feet down to the earth. Inhale, cobra pose, Bhujangasana, that's a heart. Exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under, rise up and back, downward facing dog in any way that you'd like to get there. And then enjoy a couple of deep rounds of breath here. If you'd like, take a couple of open mouth exhalations, clearing the body, letting go of any heat that's starting to build, any energy, resetting the mind, and coming back to that inward focus, coming back to that intentional breath. With your next inhalation, extend your right leg up and back behind you. As you exhale, step forward and through, come to low lunge, and then set up your feet for warrior one. So back foot will step in slightly, pointing the toes to about 45 degrees. Bend your right knee and reach your arms up to the sky. Yeah, so if you need, you can widen your feet a little bit wider for balance. And don't worry too much about squaring your hips. Think about squaring your belly or your torso, so belly button towards the right thigh. And then lift the rib cage up and away from the hips. Let your shoulders soften away from your ears, and maybe there's just a little lean back into the space behind you. Keep hugging your navel towards your spine. And then we'll release the hands back behind, interlace your fingers behind your low back. Squeeze the heels of your palms together, and inhale, lift your heart. As you exhale, bow forward into humble warrior. Yeah, so the torso comes to the inside of the right knee. Keep bending deeply into the right knee, tracking it open towards the pinky toe edge of the foot. And notice your back foot. Try to ground even the outside edge of your back foot. Relax your head, relax your jaw. Come back to your breath. Good, and then we're going to turn this into a pyramid pose. So first release your hands to your low back, and then to either side of your right foot. We're going to shorten the distance in between the heels, so step in just a bit, and then bring the heels a little closer to one line. And then hands to either side of your right foot, and take your blocks between, or to either side of your right foot if you like. And then we'll just start to straighten the right leg. Doesn't have to be all the way straight, maybe just a little micro bend in the right knee. We're just anchoring the right thigh bone into the right hip socket. Come to a halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. And then keep that length in your spine and bow your heart toward your toes. So try not to round the spine, just the intention, right? We're reaching our heart towards our toes, but it doesn't have to touch. It doesn't matter how deep you go. There's this misconception in yoga that deeper is better. And that's not necessarily the truth, right? So tap into your intuition, what does your body need? And then see how much you can honor that, right? Giving your body what it's asking for in this moment, unique to any other moment. Let's come back to that halfway lift, inhale. And then as you exhale, just turn towards your left, so you end up at the long edge of your mat on a wide-legged forward fold. So we'll step the feet even wider. And feet can be parallel or a little bit pigeon-toed, so angling the toes in. Inhale to a halfway lift here, and then exhale, bow forward. Just do what feels good here with the arms. You can keep your hands underneath your shoulders and sort of press the hands forward energetically like chaturanga arms. You can also grab for the ankles to pull yourself a little deeper. You can interlace fingers behind the low back, so it feels good. Bend into one knee and then the other. Make sure that you're breathing. Let this feel good. Right? That's the intention, to access those really joyful, really happy aspects of our true self, that true love. Just one more round of breath here. And then as you inhale, come to a halfway lift once again. And then we're going to exhale and turn towards the front of the mat, so you end up in a runner's lunge. So both hands inside of the left foot, and then we're going to toe heel the left foot to the top left corner of your mat. And then you can stay here. We're going to be here for a few rounds of breath, or if you like, you can come down to your back knee. You can take it deeper by bringing your forearms down to the earth or block. Just a few rounds of breath. Just make sure that your body isn't resisting. There's no pain, right? Just sensation. Sensation's good. And then breathe into that sensation. So visualizing the breath moving into any tight or tender spaces, inviting spaciousness, inviting openness. And then if you lower down to your forearms, come on back up to your palms. Lower your back knee down if you haven't already. Then we're just going to step the left foot back and come into child's pose. So widen your knees, bring your toes to touch, and release your forehead down to the earth. Whew. Just take a couple of rounds of breath here, allowing the breath just to wash through. Bring your awareness inward and just notice what shifted from the start of practice to now. We can experience so many shifts through traveling through these layers of our being. Sometimes we have these epiphanies, right? And we realize something that we didn't realize before. Sometimes we feel really good and blissful after we leave our yoga mats. This is the work that we do with the koshas. It's really pretty incredible. Take one more round of breath here. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and come to downward facing dog pose. Take your time arriving there. And enjoy a round of breath or two in your downward facing dog. With your next inhalation, extend your left leg up and back behind you, pinky toes down. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose, rounding through the spine. Take another breath in, press the earth away, hug the knee in a little tighter. And as you exhale, step forward and through, come to low lunge. Rotate your back foot down, parallel to the back of your mat, and rise open, warrior two. And take some time to settle in on this side, a little different than the other side. Nice wide stance. Ideally, we want the right knee or the left knee over the ankle, and then tracking open towards the pinky toes. And then extend long through the fingertips, shoulders soften. With your next inhalation, we'll start to reach forward and hinge side angle pose. Right arm up and over. Good. Notice your breathing. So tuck your left sitting bone underneath as you peel the right side of your heart open this time. Keep tracking the left knee open towards the pinky toe edge of your foot. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, rise up to star pose. Reach your arms high, toes out, heels in. As you exhale, bend your knees, sit your hips low, come into horse pose. Let's do the goddess variation. Hands are in, our arms are in a cactus shape. Good. And then let's interlace the fingers behind the back of the head. And take another breath in here. And then as you exhale, bring right elbow to right knee. Inhale to center. And exhale, left elbow, left knee. Inhale to center. And like that, exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale, sit a little deeper into your hips. Inhale, rise up to star pose. And exhale, set up your feet for triangle to the back. So this time, the right toes point to the back of your mat. Left foot is parallel-ish to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach forward, forward, forward. And exhale, tip over into your triangle pose. Right arm releases, left arm reaches high. So same thing here. We're tucking the right sitting bone under. Opening up the left side of the heart. Stacking left hip over the right. Take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, return back. Reverse triangle pose. Pressure to the ball of the right foot. Extend through the right fingertips. And then exhale, ride the breath down. Bend your right knee. Come into a low lunge first to the back of your mat. And then step back into plank pose. One full round of breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now this time, as you inhale, rock forward onto your tiptoes. Exhale, lower all the way down or halfway for Chaturanga Dandasana. With your elbows in. Inhale for upward facing dog or cobra. Shine the heart through. Tops of the feet down. And exhale, downward facing dog. Roll over the toes. Lift your hips high. Good. Beautiful work. Breathe in. Exhale out through the mouth. Good. Again like that. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, big breath in. Let it go. Next inhalation, extend your left leg up and back behind you. Exhale, big step forward and through, low lunge, and then set up for warrior one. So take a little step in with your back foot, angle it to about 45 degrees. Bend your left knee and reach your arms up to the sky. Good, so again, a little bit of an awkward shape. You're not going to necessarily be able to square your hips, so just think about rotating your belly button towards your left thigh. Lift your rib cage up and away from your hips and soften your shoulders away from your ears. And then maybe explore that lean back into the space behind you, trusting that you've got yourself, that you've got the inner wisdom to know when to pause. And then we'll exhale, release the hands behind the low back. See if you can take the opposite interlace, roll your shoulders back, lift up through the heart, extend your palms down towards the earth. And then we'll fold into humble warrior, left shoulder inside of the left knee. Yeah, so continue drawing your left hip, or right hip back rather, and rotating your left knee open towards the pinky toe. Make sure you haven't lost the bend in your left knee. And just relax your head, relax your jaw. Try not to lock out your elbows, so it helps to hug the heels of the palms together. Yeah, just a little micro bend if you can. Take another breath here. And then we'll exhale, release the hands to the low back first, and then to either side of the left leg, setting up for pyramid pose. So bringing the heels a little closer. You can bring your blocks underneath your hands if you'd like here. And then slowly, we'll start to straighten the left leg. Drawing the left thigh bone back into the left hip socket. Think about really grounding through the sole of your right foot. And again, you don't want to hyperextend any of the joints, so just a little micro bend in the knees if you can. Draw your shoulders back and lift the heart into a little halfway or quarter lift. And then keep that length and bow forward so you're hinging from the hips, reach your heart to your toes. And even though we're keeping the spine long, it's okay to relax the head if you need. Exploring those movements in the neck. Once more, inhale to that little halfway lift. And then exhale, we'll turn to the right this time, coming to the opposite long edge of our mat. Wide-legged forward fold, step your feet nice and wide as you'd like to go. Toes in, heels out. And let's inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. So walk your hands back. Let's actually reach the fingertips away from us. So we're sort of reaching for the mat behind us. And then bring one to the floor of the mat and just start to energetically pull it towards you as you bend your elbows. And then the crown of your head will release down towards the earth. So you can rock your way forward. So that it's more the balls of your feet and your heels are light. Think about your sitting bones spreading back and wide behind you. And with all of that, notice your breathing. See if you can stay with the breath. Just where the mind has gone, bring it back to the breath, back to the body. Good. When you're ready, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to spin forward, so you end up in a low lunge, or a runner's lunge rather. And bringing both of your hands inside of your right foot this time. So wheel the right foot to the top right corner of your mat. Take whatever variation serves you on this side. You might try what you did on the other side, or you might do something totally different. Be here for a few rounds of breath. And we want to feel sensation, but we don't want to feel the body resisting. We don't want to feel pain. Right? Those are signals, those are information, giving us the opportunity to back off, to honor where our body is asking to be today. You lower down to your forearms, make your way back up onto your palms. Lower down to your back knee if you're not already there, and then we'll just step back. Once again, child's pose, knees wide, toes together, hips to heels, forehead to earth. Whew. Just allow a couple rounds of breath to pass through, just washing through our being. The physical body coming into balance through this intentional movement, using our breath intentionally, prana. Working with this intention with the body and the breath, it helps to calm the mind, right? To focus the mind, to settle some of the chatter. And as those outermost layers start to come into balance and come into connection, that's when we can start to access those more subtle layers, our intuition, those moments of bliss, those moments of love and connection to true self. When you feel ready, you can rise up to hands and knees. If you'd like to take your blanket underneath your knees, we're going to come into camel pose next. So have a block available. Pretty block anywhere. All right. So let's come up to kneeling on our knees, and then we're going to take the block and take the thinnest width in between your upper inner thighs. Yeah, and then just kind of squeeze onto the block with the inner thighs. Hands can come to, let's bring our hands, fingertips point down, like your hands are in your back pockets. Roll your shoulders back onto your back, hug your elbows towards each other. And toes can stay curled under, or the tops of the feet can come to the mat. Just do what feels best on your knees. Keep squeezing the block and start to press your hips forward with your hands as you gently start to lean back. So just take it slow to begin. Try to keep your chin tucking in towards your chest rather than dropping the head back. And then squeeze the elbows together. Keep hugging your belly in towards your spine. And then if you'd like, see if you can lean back a little further. Maybe so much that you can start to reach back for your heels with your hands. If you've got a hold of your heels, see if you can press your hips forward, keep squeezing onto the block with your inner thighs. And then here you have the option to either keep your chin tucked or explore dropping your head back. And then if you drop your head back, you can start to come into lion's breath. So a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, stick out your tongue. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Good. Slowly, slowly bring your hands back to your hips and slowly start to rise up. And then we'll just remove the block. You can sit back onto your heels, or I like to take the block behind me and just sit on the block in between your heels. And then just close down your eyes for a moment here. And that pose can stir up a lot of energy and release a lot of emotion. And so just let that pass through and just feel. And when you feel ready, you can go ahead and remove the block and extend your legs forward. Good. So flex your feet back towards you and inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And then as you exhale, start to reach forward towards your toes. You can grab onto the toes if they're available, or just bring your hands to either sides of the legs. And it doesn't matter how deep you go. And we're trying to avoid rounding the spine. You really want to lengthen through the spine. So shoulders are back, heart is forward. And again, we just have that intention, right? Reaching hard to the toes. Start to lengthen your exhalations here. So this sends a signal to the body and the brain that it's safe to start to wind down. We're coming into relaxation mode. And with an inhalation, gently rise back up. We'll bring the soles of our feet together to touch. Supta Baddha Konasana, so you can have the heels in close to the groin. And then we'll interlace the fingers to the outsides of the toes. And then first just butterfly your knees a couple times. And then you can let them be still. Draw your shoulders back. And then again, just start to hinge forward from your hips. You can start to bend the elbows. Sometimes it feels nice to just press the elbows on the legs. Let them, to encourage them to come down a little closer towards the earth. And just stabilize the breath. If it feels good and safe, you can close down your eyes, just drawing the awareness inward and just exploring. Again, just noticing what's shifted, what's changed from this intentional work with the body, the breath, the mind, the intuition, and those joyful, blissful moments, all of the layers of who we are. And gently rise back up. Hands to the outer thighs and draw your knees together. Let's bring the feet to about mat width distance. Hands can come back behind for support, and then just sway the knees side to side. And go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you. Lower down onto your back, but make sure you have a block within your reach. Take a moment just to let the body settle. Resting on the earth. And then bend your knees. Bring your heels in front of your sitting bones, setting up for bridge pose. So we're going to take a couple of sets today. One active set and one restorative set. So bring your heels close to your sitting bones, so much that you can touch your heels with your fingertips. And then tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Press down into the soles of your feet and lift your hips, coming into your bridge pose. You can keep pressing your hands down. You can grab for the outer edges of your mat and press the mat down, or you can interlace fingers underneath your low back and roll your shoulders open. But either way, see if you can press your heels down and forward like you're pressing your shins forward to lift the hips a little higher. And keeping that, press the back of your head into the earth, stabilizing your neck. And breathe really deeply here. And with your next exhalation, you can unclasp your hands and slowly, slowly lower your hips down to the earth. And just let your knees fall together. Bring your feet wider to outer edges of your mat, and then rest your hands onto your low belly. Just feel the breath in and out through the nose. Feel how the body expands with the breath in, and how everything settles and softens with the breath out. Good. Now we'll set up for a second set of bridge pose. This time a supported bridge, so heels in front of the sitting bones once again. And gently lift your hips and slide the block any height underneath the lowest part of your back, your sacrum. I like to do the medium height and the wide width, so it supports the whole low back. And then you should be able to just relax your weight down onto the block. Arms can just rest by the sides. And there's options here for variations. You can stay here. You can extend one leg or both legs down to the bottom of your mat. Sometimes it's a little bit much to do both legs, so it's a little bit softer on the low back to just do one leg at a time. Again, come into that lengthened exhalation. Just feeling the body start to settle, all the energy that we've stirred up beginning to release. And all of the nourishment of the work that we're doing here today beginning to soak and seep into ourselves. If you've extended your legs, go ahead and rebend your knees, coming back to that supported bridge. And then we're going to come into supported shoulder stand. So bend your knees, lift your feet up towards the sky. So it's like the legs of the wall with the block underneath the low back. See if you can bring a little flex into your feet, heels up towards the ceiling. And legs are straight-ish, but try to just keep a little micro bend in the knees. Just breathe here. Feel complete, gently start to bend your knees, release your feet back down to the earth, supported bridge. Lift your hips, slide the block out from underneath you, off to the side, and release your hips down. This time, Supta Baddha Konasana, so bring the soles of your feet together to touch, knees open wide. Again, you can rest your hands onto your low belly, and just feel the body breathe. hands to your outer thighs, guide your inner thighs together, hug your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a little squeeze, roll out the knees a couple times, or circle out the knees rather. And then keeping the right knee hugging in, extend your left leg long. Draw your right knee towards your right armpit. And then we'll come into supine twist. Right knee to the left, shimmy your left hip underneath your right. And then extend your right arm out to the right to a T shape or a cactus shape. Just allow your body to relax to gravity. So using those first few postures. Next inhalation, gently roll back to center, hug both knees into the chest. Circle out your knees a couple times in either direction. And then keeping your left knee drawing in, extend your right leg long, and draw your left knee into your left armpit, and then supine twist opposite side, left knee to the right. Extend your left arm. Turn your gaze in any direction that feels supportive on your neck. Gently unwind your twist. Come on back to center, hug knees into chest. One more time, repose in any way that feels good. And then we'll finish up in happy baby pose, grabbing for the outside edges of your feet, your calves, your thighs, whatever feels accessible. You can take movement, you can stay in stillness, let there be breath wherever you are. When you feel ready, go ahead and make your way back to Shavasana, where we began. Support yourself as needed. Again, a blanket rolled underneath the knees can be nice with a low back. You can also place a blanket on top of your belly just to ground the body. Just allow your body to fully relax into the support of the earth. Take an exhalation, empty the body of breath. And then let's take one more breath here together. Inhale. And let it go. Exhale. Just release any control over your breathing. Allowing the body to breathe itself without any effort. Just envision your thoughts starting to float into the background and blend with the background sounds. Just let yourself soak in all of this sweetness, all of this nourishment you have created and cultivated. I'm going to walk by and spritz some neroli oil. This is for just like a little bit of an uplift. It brings a joyful feeling. If you prefer not to have that, just place a hand over your heart.
Can you let go? Feel it in your soul. 'Cause we are free. You are free. Love is free. God is free. Can you let go? Feel it in your soul. 'Cause we are free. You are free. Love is free. God is free.
Softly and sweetly start to invite in a deeper breath. Let your awareness start to reemerge into your physical body. Once again, just notice and take note of what shifted from the start of practice to now. This is what we come to yoga for, right? That blissful feeling, how good we feel after our yoga practice, how balanced and clear we feel. This is the work that we do with these koshas, bringing them back into balance so that we can access those true parts of ourselves. And the more that we do this, the more that we work consciously and intentionally, the more that that true bliss, that true love, that true joy will shine through us into the outside world. So gently start to bring movement into your body to reawaken, little fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. And take a full body stretch, reach your arms up and overhead, reaching from fingers to toes. And one final time, gather your knees into your chest, give yourself a big squeeze, a warm embrace, a thank you for doing this work, for making the world a little better, a little brighter. And then roll to either side, the right or left, into a fetal position. Gently rise up to a seat. And we'll seal up our practice together today with 3 cleansing breaths. So sit up nice and tall. If you'd like, you can gather your palms in front of your heart. And then exhale the breath empty to the bottom. And deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Again like that. And once more, big breath in and out. Bow your chin towards your chest, bow into yourself, into each other, acknowledging your effort. The light and the teacher within me honors and bows to that same light and teacher within each one of you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Beautiful work today. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, my name's April. And also stop by if you want to sign up for my newsletter. I have some other offerings, and I just send out a newsletter every couple months. It won't obliterate your inbox. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you next week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.